Hello and welcome to the show. Yeah, we're back again for another week of quarantine, lockdown, trying to stay alive and have a good time also. I'm here with Morgan.
Hello.
Yeah, he runs most of the show. I kind of chat for a bit, say what's going on. Yeah, we've been doing this we're entering fourth week of lockdown now. Third week of live stream because we're a bit slow getting going because we wanted it to look good. Wanted to make sure all the pixels are in the right place. So yeah, that's all organised now.
Hours of work.
Hours of work that I ran around and slowed Morgan down from doing. that was my main job. Oh my god, there's a massive spider on the thing. It's a really weird looking one as well. Like, I don't know, can the camera? Probably not.
Oh yeah, you can see it.
Can you see it? Can you see it on the screen?
You've made a friend.
Yeah, I'll leave him there. He's all right. I've always wanted a pet. You probably can't hear him because the pop guard is stopping it. Anyway, live entertainment. I've never had a spider turn up at a gig on the mic. If I did, just half the crowd would run away because they were scared of him. Yeah, I want to get a little pet for the Bill Murray, just because it's me here at the moment, and Morgan. I was chatting last week about getting a rat. I thought that'd be quite cool, just one. People say you should get them in pairs, but I definitely just like just one for the moment, and then if I get along with him, I'll get a friend for him on his birthday. Yeah, rats would be good. Don't want a spider. There's enough of them that live here. The ants, we have ants at the Bill Murray as well. Oh, they're back again. They come here in the summer. They live around the windows, the ants. So I got some of the powdery stuff and I put it around the windows to try and keep them away. But they're clever. They jump over it. They know how to get in. And I also leave loads of crumbs on the ground a lot, so they're coming in. But they don't bite or anything, so they don't carry disease. So I think last summer I just let them live here for a good bit. That's kind of what happened. Down the bar, though, you have to clean them from the bar with vinegar spray. So even though there's no one around, I put it out now and again in case we ever open up again, ever. Yeah, sure, we'll see what happens. At least we got the live stream to keep us going. Is that right? We had a meeting with me and the other directors. We have a Zoom meeting every Tuesday. And we always have our meeting at 1 o'clock on Tuesday, and we just kept going through quarantine anyway. We have to sort out the furlough for the staff. We're sorting out a few other bits, like the insurance has to be renewed. The guy rang for the insurance, and he wants us to renew it. And I was like, oh, cool, yeah. Can you offer us any help with all this thing that's going on? And they're like, no, not at all. But you have to renew your insurance anyway. And you just have to laugh at those things. And it's not much help they can do. Anyway, what are we doing today? Today in the show, we are chatting to Micky Overman, who's I'm a friend of hers. She's a friend of mine. Probably should refer to me as a colleague. Maybe we'll see how it goes. But yeah, we've been gigging together for a good while. She's very good. She does some nice clubs around the place. She's got a couple of shows under her belt as well. I seen her show last year down in Brighton, popped in. We're doing the shows down there. It was very good. And she's doing some stuff online at the moment, so we'll chat about that for a little bit. I think we'll chat to her for a bit, and then about 8:30 or so we'll see some of her stand-up. So you can see what stand-up Micky is like. Then we'll chat a bit more after that for a while. The guys might queue up Micky now. We can get ready to chat. I don't know, can you hear my tunes? But Spider is still there. I'm just gonna leave him there. I think he's alright. He might jump into my mouth at some stage. Alright, Micky, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh yes. I said it before and I'll say it again. I always get nervous just as you come in. And I say, oh, maybe she can't hear me, and I'll just talk about spiders for another bit.
Yeah. I can't believe you're so calm about this whole spiders situation. I would be freaking out.
Yeah, I wonder, can he go on my finger? Does he want to? Yeah, you can't see it. I'll send a picture. I'll Instagram it later, and I'll get some likes.
Is it big?
It's about half the size of my thumbnail, and I have a large thumbnail.
Okay. Well, that's not that's not a unit of measurement that I recognize.
No, it's
so I don't.
It's a weird spider as well. It's not like a normal one. He's like translucent, and
Oh my god! I'm very impressed with you right now. I can't believe you're so calm.
yeah.
I'm kind of freaking out, and I'm not even in the same room as you.
I think he likes the pop guard covering the mic because he might think it's a web. I think that's it because it's like a piece of tights that's stretched, and
Yeah.
he's just hoping a fly comes along, or maybe he's a fan of the pod. Yeah.
Lots of options for this spider.
The other day I watched it. It was really, really good. I watched into Spider-Man into the Spideyverse. It's an animated thing.
Isn't it so good?
Yeah, it's fucking brilliant.
It's so good. Oh my god. Okay,
it's
everyone.
like particularly good. Like.
It's so good. If you're watching this, stop watching this and go watch Into the Spider-Verse. It's so good. It's so funny.
Yeah.
When I finished it, I thought I would watch this again right now.
Yeah, it was really good. I couldn't, when I was chatting to Morgan afterwards, he told me, watch this, it's really good. And he's usually quite right on those things because he's into movies. And but when I watched it, I couldn't believe, this is the fucking comic of me talking, how tight the writing was. As in, like, everything that they said at the start was like a punchline an hour later. Like,
it was so good. Joke heavy. It's so good. Yeah. Oh, God, yes. Yeah. Oh, and this is good, actually, because I saw it when it first came out, and I haven't seen it for a while. So this is actually a good, like, if I'm out of something to watch, I'm like, I'm going to watch that again.
Yeah, that's perfect. I was looking up the writers who wrote it, because it was the writing and it was the storyline. I couldn't believe how good the storyline was.
Yeah.
And even though it kind of goes a bit crazy, I won't do any spoilers or anything, but even though it kind of goes crazy with different things that you wouldn't do in a movie, because it's a cartoon, it's like perfectly fine. It's a cartoon, you can do what you want. And it was a really good storyline as well. I really, really liked it.
And the voice actors are, like, the actors that they have for it are amazing.
Nicolas Cage.
I mean, I'll watch anything with John Mulaney, but
yeah,
it was very good.
I know loads. Everyone's a big fan of John Mulaney because he's very, very good, very popular.
He's excellent.
Who else?
Everyone, stop watching this. Who's ever not taken my suggestion to stop watching this and start watching Spider-Verse? Stop watching this and start watching John Mulaney.
And if you're watching it on YouTube, you could probably rent Spidey Universe on YouTube as well. It might be handy to. Can we put a link up there, Morgan? You can stick a link.
Yeah, Morgan.
It's like, no, James, we're building rep in the live stream community. Don't be telling people to watch Spider-Man Universe.
Stop telling them to watch something else. Stop watching that.
That's the type of thing I do as a joke, and then later on it'd be like, oh yeah, I shouldn't have done that. No, I need to put in good effort when I'm on the streams.
Yeah, you do. I'm just here to party.
Yeah, you're partying tonight. Yeah, partying hard.
I'm partying hard. Well, I have got a glass of wine, which I wouldn't normally have during a gig.
Yeah. So
that's nice.
Yeah, nice, relaxing. What's the hardest you've ever partied?
Okay. Gosh, I don't know. It must be one of the ones that you don't remember, right?
Oh, that's a good answer. It was partied so hard, can't remember. 16. So
60th. My mum's.
Oh, I think you reached ultimate party when you were 16.
No. I was a very boring 16-year-old. I'm a pretty boring person generally, but I was very boring when I was 16.
I think that's very I think that's very true, Mickey. No,
hey.
I think that's very true of creative people because I know if I go to I had to do a few different random courses when I'm like running the bar here, and I'm kind of the responsible person on site and that type of thing for selling drink or for different safety things or bits, that and the other. I had to go and do different courses, and when I go there and I'm sitting in the course, there's some people who are in the course and they make wise comments, and I've no desire to make a funny comment when I'm in course or when I'm in some type of classroom situation or anything like that, because I know that evening, I'm going to be making really, really wise comments to 150 people.
It completely gets rid of all of your need for validation in normal conversation.
Yeah.
So before, and I remember because my parents once were like, you don't seem as chipper or something. I'm like, no, I'm just not as needy in this conversation. I get my validation from other people now. I don't need you guys anymore. And that's the day I broke up with my parents.
On the birthday.
Yeah. on the 60th birthday, and then got really drunk. Yeah, callback. See, we can still do it.
Yeah, what's that callback from 1 minute ago? Because we wouldn't remember it otherwise. I was listening to Noel Fielding talk before, and he was saying that he was talking about being in a relationship with someone who isn't a comedian, and then he said you forget sometimes that you have to kind of give validation to the person because they don't have a few hundred people or a theatre people applauding them as they finish work every day, like, you know.
Yeah.
You have to remember, oh, I should say to your wife, you did a good job today, like, you know, whatever it was you do.
Yeah. Which is why I do date a comedian. Yeah,
you're going out with a comic.
So that I never have to validate him.
Yeah, I say there's.
Or compliment him.
I say there's a lot of advantages to dating a comic in that you're on the same time schedule. You know, you're both free during the day, and you also get it that maybe you don't like each other sometimes, so you just go away for a while, it'll be fine.
Yeah, you go do this live stream. We're in a massive argument right now.
I know, he's actually appearing in the comment section here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Stop talking to that bitch.
Yeah. That's actually his pet name for me.
Oh, that's lovely. Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually that's actually nice.
Very similar.
That's a nice.
That bitch.
That's a nice one.
It's very similar to the pet name a lot of comics use for you as well. It's very
Yeah. They say it's not a pet name, but I can read between the lines.
Yeah, dogs are pets. There you go. It's nice.
Thank you. I think the only thing now is like because he works for the NHS a couple of days a week still, and yes, he still gets applause, which I don't think is fair. So he still goes out. So, but I'm here only. Mm-hmm. So I only see him. So he doesn't need, like, sometimes he'll come home or whatever, and he's had a normal day of work. So he's like seeing people. Mm-hmm. Whereas I'm just like I really need his. I just need his attention a lot because he's the only person here.
I know exactly what you mean because today one of my housemates is living down south, moved out to the country, Lucilla. She just moved away for a good while, except she thought she'd only gone for a little while and she only bought a little bit of clothes. So she got in a car, she drove up and she says, all right, stay away from me, but I need to pick up some stuff from the house. And I go, okay. So she went in anyway, she got her stuff. And when she was leaving, it was very much like, I seen her, we're briefly chatting and stuff, and then she was going, and I was very like, oh, it was so nice, like, living with her and having other housemates and just chatting and loads of people being around and stuff like that. And it's so busy here all the time that if I see anyone I know, even on the street or going to Sainsbury's or something, you're so up for the conversation. Even this evening, I knew I was talking to you. I'm like, oh, great, I'm chatting to Micky for a while tonight. Nice.
I'm genuinely really excited. Yeah.
So,
but this is the thing, like, I miss friends. Like, I miss having, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, my boyfriend's lovely, but I don't want to just speak to him. Yeah,
you need other things. That's one thing I'm worried about, say, keeping the live streams going and, like, kind of changing or doing a podcast and stuff like that once lockdown is over, is because they're really authentic at the moment where I can chat to someone, I'm genuinely, oh, what's up, I haven't chatted in a while. Like, and to keep that authenticity, do I need to, like, continue to isolate myself forever to have a good podcast? I think that
you
might...
do, yeah.
Yeah. Community
you'll be the one keeping it up.
Yeah. Did he just not hear about it? No, he just wants to be an authentic podcaster. I haven't seen
him in 5 years.
You look up at the window, yeah. My brother said this joke before. I was doing some pull-ups in the room next, and my brother came in and he went upstairs. This is a good while ago. He came upstairs and he says, oh, I heard the kids from the school in the schoolyard, they were pointing at the window when you were doing pull-ups, and they said, oh yeah, he lives above the comedy club and he does one pull-up for every kid that he kills. It's like, did they actually say that? It's like, no, but like, it'd be funny if they did, yeah.
That would have been... Oh no, I thought the kids were actually that funny.
No, it's my brother that's funny, unfortunately. He should be here.
Damn it. He was one of those things where, like, you know, that is something I really hate in kids' movies, is when they give the kids, like, such intelligent lines, and it's like, I've met kids.
Yeah. They're
not... They're all shit.
Yeah, and there's a couple of kids. There's 3 of them that play football out in the street there, and they meet up all the time, and they're just outside playing football. But they started kicking the ball against some of the murals outside the Bill Murray. We have like really nice photographic murals. You've seen them before, but we only got them done recently. And they're kicking the ball against it, and I went out. I was opening the door, and I didn't want to be that dickhead who was like, "Hey kids, quit hitting the ball against my wall."
But you were? Did
No,
you do it?
I didn't. I waited until they went, and then I looked at the mural. I went out for a look to see if it was being damaged, and there was no evidence of damage at all. So I'm like, okay. But if there's bad weather, say if it's rain and stuff like that, and there's dirt being kicked up and stuff like that, it'll start grinding away at the paint. So I might have to go out and start giving them serious abuse.
This is amazing. You'll come out of the lockdown a crotchety old man.
Yeah, I'd be like, hey, get away from here, kids. I got corona. Fuck off. I'll give it to your parents and they'll die. Should write that down.
What a weird villain.
Yeah, I hate kids as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's not many people on the streets anymore around here. Like, these streets were quiet anyway around the Bill Murray. Now they're so quiet. Like, there's no cars or anything going by. It's like, I can hear the birds, and the birds wake me in the morning just with their little whistles. Is that what you call it? Whistles?
Sounds like they're flirting with you.
Yeah. Hey, James, come outside.
Yeah.
have a flusher with the birds. Whose room? Is that your bed? Is that your room there, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit more girly than I'd imagine a room for a couple.
No, this is the other room. Where his we were talking about this earlier. So my boyfriend's sister is coming to move in, but she's delayed. Mm-hmm. So this is now where we sit when we want to do these like Skype things and stuff.
Yeah, it must be so tricky to move house during quarantine, like, because I said there's not many.
I don't think you can. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't, like, you know, if you move out, you just. Yeah, I think if people don't.
Well, for a while there, in the beginning, you know, there was still like lots of construction crews and stuff still around. Like you could still see people like working, doing bits and bobs. And I saw a moving truck, and you're kind of like, that can't be, like that can't last.
Mm-hmm. I know someone that's, well, it's a classic case of quarantine. There's a couple who broke up shortly before quarantine. And yeah, there must be loads of them. Like, any situation you can think of, it's happening somewhere. Like, couple broke up just before quarantine and now are in quarantine together, and one of them's trying to move out, but like, you know, who moves house during quarantine?
Yeah, where are you going to go?
Yeah, it's not like they can go. They're not even from it. They can't, like, oh, I'll just crash with my parents for a while. It's like, no, they live in a different country. We have to like, figure it
exactly.
out. Like.
Oh yeah, the only reason I'm still in this relationship. No. I'm one of those really annoying people who's like very, because we've had these questions of like, how's it going? Because we're normally like, we never see each other because we're always gigging. So it's like, it's really weird that we're together this much, but we really enjoy each other's company, like an annoying amount. We're like a very happy. We annoyingly think each other are like very funny. So we're just having like a ball. We're just having a great time. I'm
delighted to hear that.
Thanks.
Because like so many more people would be like, oh, it's like the classic thing of like on Instagram or any of that, you're not seeing any pictures of like, oh, my kids in my life or something like that, you know? It's just not happening anymore. And you just imagine couples, like you imagine most couples, the only reason they get on is because they're never around, you know?
Yeah.
They like having nice dinners and fucking, and that's all they do, like Friday and Saturday. And then the rest of the time they don't see each other, you know? Yeah. But it's good to hear that you're happy. You're both very pleasant. I know you individually, like, so I says, they'll get on. That'll be grand.
Yeah, I think he's just a very pleasant person. I mean, we'll see. We're week 4, did you say? Maybe
week 3. It's early days. Yeah, you're right.
Week 3, yeah, maybe week 10. I'll come on here again, and I'm like, listen, it's gone to shit.
You'll be saying, "Oh, I have to do the James's live stream again," and then he comes in here, and
it's
then
gone to shit.
You're not doing that.
Stay in Lucilla's room.
Can I move house, please? I know some removal guys still working.
Well, that's the only thing I know about you guys is it's a refuge, right? The Bill Murray.
Yeah, like if anyone anyone out there on the internet, if you need a place to stay, you can crash at the bar downstairs on the ground. Like,
no, but I mean, it's like a comedian's refuge. Like, you have so many comics who've like come out of a relationship who've moved in for a bit.
yeah, like I have two. I don't even have one spare double mattress. I have two double mattresses in the living room, kind of the second meeting room in there. And and we have two, and I was going to throw out one of the mattresses, but it just didn't seem like a good idea because we'll need two, because chances are someday a couple will break up. They'll both be comedians. They'll both not be able to afford rent, and they both have to stay here. You know, that could happen.
It'll be us.
Week four. Yeah. Are you guys cooking a lot together? Do you like?
Yeah. We're cooking. So tonight we're having fajitas. We're doing chicken with our own like spice mix, homemade spice mix, and then peppers and homemade guacamole and stuff.
Oh, guacamole is made by, you have to add lime with pepper and avocado mashed up. Is that it?
Salt.
What?
Salt
as well. Okay, yeah. I've never made guacamole. I love eating that. I started grilling avocados recently. I have a griddle pan, and you just cut them in half, put them down. It's quite cool. You just add them to, like, if you're having a full English breakfast or a full Irish breakfast, if we'd call it back home. Do you have a full Netherlands fucking breakfast? No.
No, we're continental assholes. You know, we just love a spread.
Yeah, a spread. You do. Any hostel I've been to, it's like, your continental breakfast, and it's just cereals with some meats and breads, and it's like,
that's what
everyone just eats a respectable amount, while me and all my mates were like, this will also be lunch for later. Nice.
Yeah. And also, like, the thing is, the warm thing is just not really as much a thing. Not just breakfast, but lunch. Like, we don't really have warm lunches.
It's because it's so hot over there. You probably want something cool.
Yeah, you know where the Netherlands is geographically if you think it's hot, yeah.
Yeah, it is. I compare everything to Ireland, where it's like 10 degrees during the summer and it's Baltic rain.
James, you do know it's like the same.
As Ireland? It's way drier, definitely, that's for sure.
It's the same as England.
It's the same as England?
It's so wet.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, actually, the whole part of the country is flooded all the time, isn't it?
Yeah, we're below sea level. We have to
below sea level. You're probably even wetter than England then.
Okay, are we still talking about?
Yes. Why? What were you talking about?
All right, James.
The summers must be warm. I was there once and it was very, very warm, so that's what I'm going on.
And the thing is, like, the when it is warm, it's really similar to England. But when it is warm, it's just so lovely because, like, we have a lot of, especially in the cities, well, in the towns as well. Like, we just have a lot of like terraces, like patios outside. That's a big thing. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of space for patios outside. So just everyone's sitting outside. Mm-hmm. And that's something I really miss about living in London, is that you don't really have that here. You'll have like pub gardens, like in the back.
Yeah, if there's a pub that has a beer garden.
Everyone being on the streets, everyone being outside, you don't really get that.
No, everyone. If a pub has a good beer garden, that's where everyone goes, and usually it's at the back of the pub. Yeah, it is really nice. I love when people are like, I lived in Galway in the west coast of Ireland for years, and there's a huge thing about, like, there's main streets that are pedestrianised, and everyone comes outside the front door, and everyone's just drinking on the street. And it's so much fun, you know. Everyone's
it's so nice.
All the pubs kind of mixed together because they're right beside each other. They're going across. Whereas here they have such big roads and everything. I'm sure you'll find places that are outside, but then you can't bring your drink outside, or you can't stand there, or there's a bouncer who says, "Hey, stop hitting him," you know.
Yeah, and it's smart, of course, to do that here because the drinking culture and stuff is quite aggressive, but
aggressive drinking. It's like, what do you mean?
It's quite aggressive.
They really go for it.
It's aggressive drinking. Yeah, there's so much vomit everywhere.
Yeah, they have to redo the sewers every 6 years or something.
Is that right? Not because of the vomit.
I seen they used to have these things in the London pubs here. I think it was just called slops, where any drinks that were nearly finished or that, you used to put them in a big bucket, and then there's a hose that used to come out of the bucket, and you could drink. This is back in Victorian times. They used to like have a hose. I know, the way you were looking at me there, I was just like, she has no idea.
I genuinely was like, what? 10 years ago? That's disgusting.
That's a thing in Wales.
Is it a thing in Wales still, is it?
Yeah, Welsh universities do that.
Jesus Christ, man.
See, that sounds...
What, the
That sounds like the end of, like, house parties in, like, American movies.
Yeah.
You know, where they're like, oh, or the end of college or whatever, and they're like, oh, everything's in his bucket, you can drink.
Yeah. I think it's how much, I don't know how much it was, but it was literally just the hose come out. You can have a suck on the hose, and then you have to, once you finish, you have to put it back. But it's really cheap. We should bring that back.
It better be cheap. That's disgusting.
No wastage, that's what I say. Yeah.
Very good, yeah.
Yeah.
No wastage. Yeah, there'll be a bunch of drunks who'll be very happy to have the dregs.
Yeah, it would be good. We should do that at the Bill Murray.
We should no. That can't be the idea that you come out of lockdown with.
Have you had any?
It has to be something better.
Yeah, have you had any thoughts about how to make the place better? I know how to make it worse. How long have you been over here now?
Over 5 years.
Over 5 years. Oh, you must have came after me then. I thought we came at the same time. I'm here about 6 and a bit years, maybe.
No, yeah, I came. I've been here 5 years. No, it was 5 years in November.
Mm-hmm.
5 years in November.
Yeah.
So 6 years this November. But I moved over. I don't know. Did you move for comedy? I moved over here to do comedy.
I was unemployed in Ireland, but I had a degree in environmental and structural engineering, and then I was just sitting at home, was doing nothing. But I'd started gigging at that stage, and I was playing guitar live. I was doing a few things, and then I thought, oh, if I moved to London, I could work as an engineer during the day and make some cash, and then the evening I could do gigs. And this is so bad. Like I seem so naive. I thought I could come and go to a club on a Wednesday, and literally that weekend I'd be getting a paid 20. Like, that wasn't that long ago. I was so stupid. Like,
yeah, but it's so funny, isn't it? Because it's like you don't know how it works. You just don't know how it works. I moved to London because in my head the comedy here was different in the sense that, like, I knew that there was a comedy thing here where you could go to pubs and do 5 minutes and be shit. Mm-hmm. Whereas I didn't understand how the system worked in the Netherlands, which is why I never tried it there. Because the only people I ever saw on television were people who came through, like, acting routes kind of thing. Like, they were the ones. And I was like, well, I'm not that. So I just need to do this. I need to do somewhere where the bar is so low. And I just thought, like, oh, there's so much comedy in England. Like, there'll definitely just be, you'll just be there in anonymity. The anonymity thing was very important to me.
So did you live in a city in the Netherlands, or were you in a town somewhere, was it?
No, I lived in Amsterdam.
Okay, so there must be a club scene there, is there not?
But this is what I mean, is like, that's why I was referencing it, because my perception of it was wrong.
Oh, okay.
I could have done it. I could have done it, but in my head it was like, no, that you can't do that here. And it was just, I just made that up.
Oh.
Like, the thing, if you think that you can just play in a club, it's like, we just have these ideas of what it is.
Yeah.
And they're so wrong. And since then, when I've been back in the Netherlands and I opened for Jamali Maddox in this, like, big club in the Netherlands. And I was there and I was talking to these comics and they were like, well, didn't you know it was here? And I was like, genuinely, I
had no idea. Did you not check?
Yeah,
not
like,
at all.
So,
I didn't even check.
They were like, why did you move to England? And I was like, I just thought that you could fail there. So stupid.
That's very funny, but it meant you ended up being here, so that's good.
No, it is good, because I also, like, I love the English language for comedy. Like, I think it's a very good language for comedy, because there's so many words.
I was chatting to a few comics whose English are the second language, and there was a few different people, and there's just different English words that they don't. It just seems to work in English that it doesn't have the same bite in other languages, like, and that's the word they use, kind of bite and stuff like that, just to hit it hard. But have you spoke Dutch when you went back and gigged?
No, I haven't gigged in Dutch. I would like to. I definitely would like to, but it's like, it would kind of be like started from scratch, and with here things going all right and, like, going quite well. It's like, it makes more sense to focus on this, because also, like, Dutch people just speak English quite well, so
Yeah.
they can also just come to, like, if God, I got big enough that I could do shows there as well. Like, I could just do them in English. Do you know what I mean? Like, I could just do them in English; they would understand it. So
Yeah.
it wouldn't really, it's not like, but it would be nice, and it would be nice. But my biggest thing of it would be like, it'd be nice for my mum
Oh yeah.
to like fully understand
Yeah.
the jokes that I'm doing,
It's,
because
pro-
like
it's
she
probably
comes,
it's probably good that she doesn't understand some of the jokes that you do actually.
she would love.
Probably best that
Yeah.
she doesn't hear any of that at all.
Yeah, no, because my dad does. And one time he came to a gig, and he made me laugh so much. Oh no, he didn't make me laugh. My mum made me laugh because he came home, and my mum told me that when he came home, and she was like, "Oh, how was it?" Because he was over in London, and she was like, "Oh, how was it?" And he went, "It's a lot about sex." And then he went, "But I guess we all do it." It's such a like reasonable Dutch response. She's like, "Oh."
Yeah, that's exactly what people were trying to do with comedy like 30 years ago. Talk about things that everyone does.
Yeah.
They're catching up
But
with
it is true. Like, that's why everyone talks about it, because it's funny, because we all do it, but it's still a little bit taboo.
Yeah, still taboo. Will it ever not be taboo? It's getting better all the time. Like, there was, like, when I was growing up in school, there was, like, people used to call each other gay or even what's the word? Leser, that's what they used to say.
Sure, yeah. Gay panic in the 90s.
Yeah, but if I chat to some of my cousins now and stuff like that, maybe it's just they're not even in like a fancy school, but it just doesn't. It's like even the bullies don't say that as it's like it's not a bully thing anymore. They just insult your mum like usual or something like that. You know.
Yeah, like when I was nannying, and I mentioned I was nannying, and this girl, and I was mentioning something about, she was talking about her friend, and I was it came up, and I was like, well, maybe she likes girls, because that was sort of the thing. And she was like, maybe, but I mean, the way that she was responding was just like, that's not a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
And sure, like, this was a school in central London, but it's still, that would have been such a, like, oh my God,
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe she would like when I was a kid, that would have been such a more, like, a bigger deal.
Yes, central London around here, they'd probably encourage the child to be different in any way at all, even if it wasn't truly them, just so that they'd be even more proud of them. Yeah.
Even if they weren't actually queer, they'd be like, just do it.
Just do it. We need one in the family to be.
Just do it. You're very boring right now. You need a thing.
You need some flavors to that personality.
You need a thing. This is horrible.
Yeah. What I might do is I'll ask the lads to queue up your stand-up, and then we'll jump over to this. This was you sent this in. It was recorded in the Bill Murray. Did you send a clip in from here? Was it, or was it somewhere else?
Yeah. Well, it was the one from the beginning of January that I did in the live stream.
Oh, cool.
I hope it's all figured out, because it still had the little square on the bottom. I hope Morgan figured it out.
Yeah. Morgan said he's fixed it all up. It's all done.
He's fixed it all up.
Cool. We'll jump to that now. You'll like it. Have a good time. We'll be back in a few minutes.
My name is Micky. I am Dutch. yeah. I have to tell people I'm Dutch because of my accent. I don't sound very Dutch, so I have to explain it. So just to explain, I got this accent from watching 90s American TV. Yeah, and fucking my Irish ex-boyfriend for long enough. His penis gave me a twang. That's a little dirty joke to start. People don't really expect me to tell dirty jokes. I think it's because I kind of look like, as a child, I was forced to play the cello. It's true. Actually, my friend, he said to me, no, you look like Moaning Myrtle if she haunted ASOS. And I thought that was very funny, so I laughed really hard, right? And then he was like, that was supposed to be an insult. You've clearly taken that the wrong way. And I was like, insults are just self-deprecating jokes I don't have to write. I used to start my set by saying I was from Amsterdam, but I had to stop doing that because quite often what would happen, guys, is usually a guy, would come up to me and be like, bro, I went to Amsterdam and I've got the craziest story. Yeah, and then they would tell me the story, and it's never a good story, and they're never good people. Right? Some of you might know some of these people. This is the story I got every single time without fail. They'd been to Amsterdam. They smoked too much weed. They got lost in the red light district. And when they found their way back to their hotel, for some reason, they shit themselves. Why? First of all, weed doesn't make you shit yourself. So that's a weird thing to say, unless that's like a classic British way to end a story. That just like I don't know about, right? Second of all, just because I'm Dutch doesn't mean I do drugs, right? Means I sell them. But I figure like bringing up drugs is like such a weird way to bond with me personally. It's kind of like if I went up to like any English person and I was like, it's not legal where I'm from, but I love fox hunting. Love it. And I don't do that because that would be a weird thing to say. Although we don't really have foxes where I'm from. And the first time I saw a fox outside my house in London, I got so excited. I shot it immediately. And then I shit myself. But it was very, like, it was, and the thing was, like, I feel so much more confident. I think it's also because, I mean, this is quite smart, but what I did a couple of years ago, right, is, well, I got myself a lovely English boyfriend, just in case of Brexit. Oh, you got to be prepared. And, oh, God. And the thing is, like, he's brilliant. He's like a perfect British gentleman, which, of course, means that he has a complicated relationship with alcohol, and he doesn't speak a second language. Nom, 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 nom. And I like him. I think we're gonna go all the way. Like, I think we're gonna get married and have babies and like, yeah, thank you. Maybe get divorced. Once I have my passport. And no, okay. And no, he's lovely. You know what? I'll tell you what's great about him. So he's amazing. Like, he's genuinely amazing. But this is how I realized he was like the one. It's not really a joke, but it's very funny. This is because he is a gentleman, but I knew he was the one when he made me come and he said, "How do you like that, you fucking perv?" Isn't that amazing? Yeah, I think that's so. I was telling that joke to his mom. Not the same response. But he's the best. We've been together for 2 years, which of course means that we've stopped having sex. And it's because we don't get to see each other like ever. Like, I get to do this, but it's sort of opposing schedules. And sometimes we don't see each other for like 2-3 days straight. And believe me, you don't want to come home at midnight and have the first thing you hear be like, "Hey, baby, take off your clothes," It's not nice. He was very clear about that. Does not like it when I do that voice. So what I've realized, basically, guys, is that I have a higher sex drive than he does. It is not the gender equality battle I wanted to win. I wanted to make more money than him. But I am hornier. Woo! And I don't know what I was expecting either, because like I said, he's English, and I'm sorry if there's a lot of English lads in, but you're not known for your libido. like I'm sorry. It's like, no one's ever gone, "Meet my English lover." Clive. Oh, where's he gone? Oh, he's at the bar, Clive. But Clive's at the bar just like 6 pints in, like, "I can do it." Just give me a minute. Clive. You took that a lot better than I thought you would. I don't know, it makes me think that actually maybe there's not that many English lads in, but there's definitely a lot of women who slept with them. You're very nice. And you're good drinkers. So that's something. I like him. I think we're definitely I want to be a mom, like I really do. Not now, but at some point. And I want to have children, just not too many, because I don't know if any of you know this, but Jamie Oliver has 5 children. Can we do a little poll? Like, does anyone think that's greedy? Yes. Okay, 1. Does anyone else agree that Jamie Oliver sees his wife as like another oven? Yes? I'll tell you, what's your name? Ava. I have time for one more story. Do you want to hear the story from when I was in... No, do you want to hear about the time I was in a fire or when I lost my virginity? Virginity! Okay, good. Okay. Good. I'm glad I asked a girl because that's the one I want to tell. So, I was 17. Guys, I was 17. I was very excited. I was feeling ready. So it said something really beautiful, like I'm open for business. And then the guy, he said, if I remember exactly, he said, ugh. He went, ugh, no. Can you not just go, have sex with somebody else, then come back and have sex with me? The thing is, I just don't want to take another girl's virginity. That's what he said. Verbatim. That's how I lost my virginity to his neighbor. And no. We ended up doing it. I managed to convince him somehow. And what happened is, then it got a bit weird, because what happened is, Ava, is the room caught fire. It's the same story. The room caught fire, guys. I didn't realize, which is why I got a bit smug when he was like, Mickey, the bed's on fire. And I was like, thank you very much. I have done some hand stuff before. Also, turns out that the real problem with losing your virginity in a fire is that it becomes all about the fire. But it was really bad. And then it's a true story. It was really bad. And then I was really panicked. And I was like, well, the good thing is, right, look on the bright side. The good thing is that at least this night can't get any worse. And then I shit myself. Guys, you've been so nice. I've been Micky Overman. Have a great night.
Ooh, not so bad. We're back. During the break, Morgan asked me. I was near the pop guard. Morgan asked me, "Where is the spider still there?" And I looked down, and he was right there. Like he was just. I don't know. Can you see if you can see him again? Can you see him on the camera, Morgan?
Yeah, he's right there. I can see.
I'll make him move a little bit.
Oh, don't he might. Don't be infected.
I'll leave him there. Co-host Spider. You still there, Mickey? You haven't gotten an argument with your boyfriend or anything, no?
We're very happy.
We're really enjoying our time together.
We're really having a great time.
Is he making? Do you already have dinner? I love to talk about food. Surprise.
No, we decided to delay because we like to watch something when we eat food.
What's on the TV tonight? What are you looking for?
Well, we're watching this show called The Good Wife.
Oh.
Which is a terrible title for a very good show that was on a couple of years ago.
Yeah, was that a suggestion that he made for you to watch, or?
No, that was mine.
Okay, he's the wife, is he?
Yeah.
See, fajitas, nice. Learn them.
It's a very good show.
Yeah, good one. I've heard about it. Definitely haven't watched it.
It's one of those shows that was really, it was just on the wrong network. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? Like in the States, like they have all these networks and certain shows look a certain way, and with the writing that they have and the sort of intelligence that's behind it, mm-hmm. It was kind of filmed like a very much as a sort of like classic procedural show of like one story per episode kind of glossy look, mm-hmm. And it's not that kind of a show really. So it's fine, it works, but it's like it should have been on like Showtime.
Yeah, it sounds the way it. When I seen the name of it a few times, and it just reminds me of like Desperate Housewives or something like that.
Yes,
It's,
exactly. And it's not like that at all.
it's
It's
not like
like
that at all.
really, really. It's not like that at all. It's like really, really intelligent.
What a,
And like they really talk about a lot of really interesting issues on it, because it's like she's a lawyer, and the cases that they have are always in these like really fantastic gray areas where they talk about race and sexuality and all these kind of things, and it's really good.
yeah. Is that my own prejudices coming through? Like I see a show called The Good Wife, and I go, not for me.
Yeah, they hated their own title.
Yeah, do they?
Yeah,
Yeah, good. I hate
they
it too.
started in like season 4, I think they started using like The Good Wife and then have like a tagline underneath it, which is like, it's not as it sounds or something like that. Like they started like actively going against their own title, being like, please watch this, it's very good, don't ignore the title.
She's not that good.
Yeah.
The season 2, Naughty Times.
Naughty times. Good. Oh, a winky face.
Yeah.
Lots of emojis underneath it.
Good Wife. Not
But
really.
yeah, so we're gonna have the fajitas and stuff after this as a reward for a job well done.
Yeah, I'm getting quite hungry now. I'm trying out different ways to have. I was looking at I do different fasts all the time, and I'm trying to do this one that's alternate day, except I do it every like 4 or 5 days. So I had food last night, and I haven't eaten since. And then before, like last week, I fasted all during the day, and then I broke my fast at like 6 o'clock. I had some food, and then I had dinner, and then I done the live stream. Except I felt like real kind of sluggish. Whereas now, like, I'm hungry, and I'm thinking, all right, I'm up for it, and I want to have some food soon. So it keeps me going.
How long have you been doing comedy for that you don't know that you shouldn't eat before you do a gig?
Oh, before a gig, it's fine. But when it's an hour long kind of chatting thing, say if you do, it's like you do a solo show or something like that. If you're chatting longer,
I cannot eat before a gig.
No, well,
No.
by the time I eat before a gig, but I suppose it's because I'd have food because I wouldn't be on stage till after 9. And I could have food at 7 or something, just not right before a gig. That's fine.
I get very sleepy.
Really, I suppose, yeah.
I just get very sleepy on stage, and I'm not as quick to react. And like, I mean, I say that knowing full well that I don't really respond to my audience.
Yeah. You said I don't even care if they're there. That's what you told me once.
Yeah, I just strong. Of course, I care that they're there.
I'm here for me.
No, but I mean, it's a very much a strong fourth wall that I'm putting. You know, it's a sort of thing where I'm like, I know it's a dialogue, but I want their dialogue to be purely laughter.
Yeah, that's good.
And for me to not have to do any, because I love jokes, so I put a lot of effort into. It'd be really funny if someone was like, just had watched my set and was like, that was so crap, and then I'm up here. The thing is, I put so much effort into my jokes.
I rewrite them at least twice. Really, really hone those things.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you get it. So I put a lot of effort in, and I just want to tell I'm so excited to tell my jokes. Mm-hmm. That like when there's like crowd stuff, I'm just always a bit like, I want to get back to.
Yeah.
I tell my bits.
Some people are so good at crowd work though. It's like a joke unto itself.
Oh yeah, this is not like to put down crowd work. That's amazing, but that's a different skill that I don't possess and don't have a particular interest in learning.
Yeah, I'm the same as that. Like, you know, as I did talk about, or I think about MCing sometimes and getting into that. But like, I like preparing something and then delivering it, and parts of it not working, and then doing it. Like when I'm chatting to them, it's not part of my personality to be interested in what the front row is doing for a job. Like it doesn't like I can't be up there. Like if I went up there and says, "Hey, what are you doing?" Like it's just they'd know straight away. You do not care at all. Like
yeah.
You don't care at all.
See, that's quite funny because I think I was like that in the beginning very much. No one would even speak to me anyway because I was quite a deadpan, like whatever. Mm-hmm. And now that I'm becoming a little bit more myself, and there's a little bit more of like the silliness that's coming out, I think I just come across a lot nicer. So people are more eager to be like involved. Mm-hmm. But there's still that part of me that's just like, oh, no, I just want to tell my jokes, please. So then when they get involved, I'm like, I know this is so nice, but I don't really know what to do with, like, I don't know how to engage you in a way that actually fits the stuff that I want to get out.
But when you do, I've seen you like do when you do longer shows as well. It's kind of inevitable that you do something happens or you do have to address it.
Yeah.
But it's not like crowd work. It's not like you're warming them up, getting them to have a good time. Like
No.
actively making them have a bad time.
Yeah. It's acknowledging that they're there and that something's happening.
Yeah.
And then continuing to do my stupid comedy.
Yeah, I think if I will MC some. I have MC'd. Did I MC like a fashion show once or something? I MC'd something strange before. I can't remember what it was. I definitely MC'd
Fashion show.
Yeah, I think I fucking MC'd a fashion show back in Ireland. Why?
How would you forget that?
I don't know. I was like, how did that?
I think I may have MC'd a fashion show.
No, I'm telling the truth. I think I may have MC'd a fashion show once. Why do I think that? No, I tell you what it was.
Because you did it?
I think it was like it was a battle of the bands or it was an open mic night, but I was wearing a waistcoat, so when I picture it, I remember fashion show.
Because you were wearing a waistcoat?
Yeah, I was wearing fancy clothes.
James, no. Oh, boo, poor you.
No, I didn't MC.
You think a waistcoat is the height of fashion?
Yeah, it was pretty good.
We all know it's black turtlenecks.
Oh, yeah. That's what I should wear sometimes. I have the jeans, blue jeans, black turtleneck. Introduce the new Apple Watch.
Absolutely. You'll meet it. People will be like, "Oh my god, he's a genius."
Yeah, he's the live streamer of his generation. What season? I'm still thinking about maybe potentially watching The Good Wife. I need a series. Might jump into that one.
Well, that was a good thing because I've watched it before, but like years and years and years ago. And me and Patrick have kind of run out of things to watch. Like we've watched everything that we wanted to watch, and that was one of the things I was like, oh, I would like to rewatch that sometime. So luckily he was like, oh yeah, that sounds. I'd really sold it, to be fair, but he's into it now, so that's good.
Things got pretty bad. Things got pretty bleak there the other day. I watched the first 2 episodes in season 1 of Sex and the City.
Oh, that is bleak.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. So someone I know is talking about it loads and says, oh, it's really, really good. And I says, all right, I'll give it a shot. And like, watch the first one. It's like, all right, yeah, I get it. The second one, it's like, oh, they're all like this. Oh, no.
Yeah. Yeah. Here's the thing. As a woman, I
living in the city.
In the city, just drinking my wine. I loved it when I was like, 14, 15 or whatever. I was like, oh, look at these women in the city having sex. I've seen it. I've clearly seen it. But it's not something that holds up. Like, it's such a big thing, but it doesn't really hold up because the stuff that they're talking about is not controversial now, and most of it is just outdated. Yeah. So when at the time you'd watch it and be like, oh my God, I can't believe you're chatting about this. You're now watching and you're like, 1, you're wrong. 2, this is shit.
Season 1, episode 1, the main character dropped her handbag and some condoms fell out, and it was like, oh. Yeah. Whereas now it's like, exactly. Oh no, that's appropriate.
yeah. Where now you're like, that's happened to me so many times. I've dropped my handbag.
Just buckets of them fall out, like 3 packs.
If that was written now, some kind of like, it would be like a queer character, and they'd be very celebratory of that happening instead of.
Yeah, you go, girl.
Instead of being like embarrassed.
Yeah, maybe I was reading it
wrong. 4 straight white women being embarrassed.
Yeah, maybe I was reading it wrong, because maybe that was the angle they're going for, and they were ahead of their time, and they were trying to show, look, people carry condoms now, deal with it. Maybe no, that's it. In season 1, episode 1, dropping condoms, that was edgy back then. Whereas now it's like people wouldn't even notice it. Probably. That'd be kind of it.
I think so. Definitely in the city. Which is where it takes place.
Where they have sex.
Where they have sex. But in towns, maybe if you were like in the local supermarket in your town, and you were dropping condoms, that might be still a topic of conversation.
Yeah, probably because they stole them from the supermarket.
Yeah.
I think that was the worst. That was the worst thing I watched. I'll probably skip the movie. Won't bother watching it. Give it a miss. That's what I say. Go back to the
Yeah.
Spidey universe.
Oh my god, watch it again. It's so good. You know what's a fun watch?
Go on.
Cartoon wise. It's not the quality of but Heidi Regan told me about it once, and it is very funny. It's the Penguins of Madagascar movie.
Oh, I've seen them. Was it? No, were they in Shrek originally? They were in some other movie originally.
No, they're in Madagascar, which is why it's called Penguins of Madagascar.
Sorry, Morgan hates when I talk about movies. So I just fuck it.
Were they in Jaws?
No,
Listen.
Jaws 2.
Just listen, it's the penguins, and they're of the movie Madagascar, but this is like it's one of those like ones that's like the third one. It was probably straight to DVD.
Oh, that's it. They were in Madagascar, and then they have their own movie. Then,
Yes.
like Joey and Friends.
Yes.
Yeah.
You should have figured this out from the title, which again was Penguins of Madagascar.
But they said it too quick. It's your strange accent. Sorry.
Listen, it's very funny. It's very joke heavy. It's a a lot of puns and a lot of shit jokes as well, but there's a lot of really funny jokes as well.
Is it something that's good for kids, but the adults can enjoy it also?
I think this is one where I doubt the kids would even like it, and it's very much written for adults who are like, yeah.
Madagascar. Where did I see that? I seen but they were so there was the movie Madagascar, and the penguins were like a little bit of it, but they were so funny.
Yeah.
They made their own Penguins of Madagascar.
You know why they're so funny? It's because they're smug.
Yeah.
The main penguin is smug, and anyone smug who's also stupid is just funny. Like, that is just the greatest combination. Anyone who's like a fucking idiot but does it with so much confidence, that paradox will never not be funny. That's just funny.
It might be so funny that they just vote them to be president somewhere.
Madagascar.
No, America.
That's the plot of the movie.
Has no idea what's going on, but is so smug. People are just
it's funny. Yeah, it's probably not as funny if they're in charge in real life, but it is genuinely really funny. That's my rec.
Yeah, I remember a clip of the movie where they were driving a big tanker and then they crash it into somewhere and they go, guess we're here, like that type of thing. Yeah. They're like, do you know like the penguin from Batman?
Yes.
Yeah. So you have him, but he's like a character that's set from like gangster America at some stage, where they're like, "Wah, see what he's here," that type of thing. Yeah, that's what the penguins are based on, the kind of smug, kind of gangster type thing.
No. Next question.
I don't. That was my only question, and I managed to hold off until 8:57 to fucking ask it. Question 2. Oh yeah, I do have a question. I remember it now. I only wrote down one thing. Did you say you're doing a podcast soon or something?
Yes, I am.
There we go.
We're gonna. So it's me, Patrick Spicer, the boyfriend, and the ultimate, and Nathan Darcy Roberts. Do you know Nathan?
Oh, I do. Yeah.
Yeah. And so the three of us, we used to live together, and we were really obsessed with the TV show Take Me Out. And do you know Take Me Out?
Yeah, I have some nice. I think everyone has a few bits about it. I have a few jokes about Take Me Out. It's nice.
Oh yeah, that's right. You're one of the ones who has jokes. Good. Okay, so we loved it. So we've gone back and we're recapping them all.
Oh.
Well, not recapping. We're chatting about them. So we're going back in time and watching them.
Yeah.
So.
I'll give you a hand. I'll give you a hand producing that podcast, and we'll start chasing up some of the people who are in it and see where are they now, and then we can get them on the podcast, and then we'll start chatting to them more.
What? Would love that. There's just we love the show. It's very celebratory of the show. Like we genuinely think it's good TV. So we're watching them, and we're bringing out the first episode next week, because we recorded a bunch of them before this all happened, and then obviously because of this happening, we kind of slowed down. But then with everyone doing things via Zoom and all that kind of stuff, we're like, no, we probably would be able to do it remotely.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna.
There's some app that I heard about that you can get.
Yeah.
Where is that where two or three people record remotely, and then it puts it together in high quality? Yeah.
So we're going to continue it now. So we're very excited. But we have a bunch of them ready to be put out, and so we're genuinely excited. We're like,
where are you hosting your podcast?
So we're going to do it I think via Acast. So it's going to be on all your regular platforms like Spotify and SoundCloud and all that.
I was looking at taking the audio from these live streams and making a podcast out of them and just having it up somewhere. But I think you have to do you have to pay for them to host it somewhere, or is it free?
Yeah, you do. You have to pay monthly subscription.
I might just do that.
But there's 3 of us, so it's not that.
Oh, I could go in on that as well. You could help me pay for mine. Nice.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
But they're really. I think it's gonna be good. They're really funny.
That's a couple. You're a couple that really gets on, and you're going to be talking about a show that you genuinely like. Is there any conflict in the podcast? I'm looking for people to be angry at each other, some bit.
Why?
Just a bit. Is Nathan going to come in and try and stir things up?
You've met Nathan. He's always coming in, giving his singers. He's always kind of aggressive. So
what I want to see in the podcast is Nathan and Patrick to start getting along really well, and you start getting jealous throughout each episode.
To be honest, that is kind of what happens. Because they do Nathan was my friend first. Can we just get this straight? And then Patrick just got on with him so well that it's just become a little bit of me just being like, guys, hey guys, I'm also here.
Yeah, you could have in jokes and stuff. Patrick and Nathan goes to Patrick. Oh, we need to take her out of this situation. That could be good.
Oh, that's So writing that down.
Yeah, you could add it to my penguin jokes I've used as well. All right, we're at 9:00 now, so we're going to wrap it up. And it's nice.
All right.
It's nice to end while the guest is laughing, I guess.
Yeah.
The spider's still here, so hopefully he'll be. Yeah, all right, he's still here. I'll say goodbye, and we'll chat again soon. And I look forward to listening to your podcast because I've loads of time, so I definitely will.
Yes. Bye.
Take it easy. Chat again soon. Bye. All right, dudes. I don't want to move this too much because the spider is still there. I'm just going to leave him there. He'll probably stay there tonight. He definitely thinks it's some type of web Morgan, but I'm happy enough with him living here. If I find any flies, I'll feed it to him.
We've had some name suggestions.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Go on.
We've had Aloy, Rat, and Spider Pig.
Spider pig?
Yeah.
Well, that's quite good, yeah. Just look a bit like a pig. What was the other one? Rat?
And Aloy.
Aloy?
Yeah.
That's a strange one. I was hoping for some puns on the Angel or the podcast and everything. No.
We'll try again tomorrow. If you're still there.
Yeah, well, I got a full day to think about it, so. All right. Tomorrow is going to be a really good show. What we have coming up is we're doing the community podcast. So we have the Aussie girls not coming in digitally through the air, through the Wi-Fi. We'll be chatting to them for a bit, and they'll be showing us some sketches, some of their stuff, and it's the same type of thing as last week. If you want to know how to kind of go from not making any sketches to making them and getting them up and having them good quality, they're good people to chat to. So stick your questions in the comments for tomorrow, and I'll ask them and I'll figure it out. I wore a shirt last week to be a bit more formal, so I might do that again. I didn't wear my bandana this week, trying to keep it a bit more cash, be a bit more myself. I think it worked.
Yeah, I wonder what looked different.
Yeah, it's just oh yeah, you look a bit more normal. This is what I wear usually when I'm out and about, so I don't freak out people. Sometimes I want to freak out people, so I just wear the other stuff. Ha ha ha. Sorry, neighbours. Alright, say goodbye, Spider. This is quiet Spider, he doesn't talk too much. I want to call him Rat, but I will. Yeah, so that with the community podcast tomorrow. Then I have John Maher coming on Thursday. We're going to be talking about, he's a podcast artist that's about MMA, and he actually has some proper people that's coming up on it as well. So he has former world champions from different divisions and things like that. It's called, something above the guard. Open guard, that's it. So we'll be talking to him. I'm a huge fan of that type of stuff. I never fought, but I trained for a couple of years, so it'll be nice to chat to him. And he's a good lad for a fight. If you ever want to fight, he's always up for it. Yeah, and then we have the archive Friday and Saturday. So we're beginning to lock down this schedule, if you will. Morgan has just taken off his headphones now. I think he's done, so we'll just wrap it up. Thanks very much for tuning in, dudes. We'll see you tomorrow and the next day and the day after.